So I've had an opportunity today to go over a job we're kind of in the middle of, even though we only started yesterday. I didn't have any time to film it, but we get a lot of progress done really quick. And this is a new office build, and we're using the bridle rings to do all the wiring. Now I can't show you absolutely everything today because I just don't have the time to film all of it, and my crew's working diligently because this was an interesting job that, well, whatever happened to cause this, it was like an afterthought to get us here. So we got all the wires ran up here. Let me see if I can get that looked up there a little bit. Cool. Thank you. So that's how they look when you run them through the proper bridle rings and we have from ceiling. I mean, ideally you do not want to just run the wires on top of the drop ceiling. Now normally, and the reason I say this job's a little bit of backwards, so we started with the bid with getting the schematics, but what turned into a real problem for us was we thought this was going to be a raw construction. When we got through here, we're like, the drywall is almost up. And the customer, after we did the approval, they were loading the drywall in the building, but they hadn't finished all the walls. Well, now they've got all the walls finished, and then they approved our bid, and even the general contractor's kind of like, you guys usually come in beforehand, like, yeah, we do. We don't really know this is one of the out-of-state jobs that, well, we're in state, they're out of state, so they contract to do this work. So some things aren't here yet, so we're building out as fast as we can, and we've got a lot of the wires ran, but as you notice, I'm standing in the server room with absolutely nothing. So the anti-static floor and everything has actually been installed. If you look, you'll see these little copper pieces down here. So they put this in. It's a nice floor. It's a server room, but because we just started the job yesterday when we got an approval, we ordered all the parts, and well, we could only get here. They didn't want any of the racks that we had. They wanted us to specifically order them from a specific vendor, a specific model, and the fastest that vendor, even with expedited shipping, isn't going to be here till Friday. So this is kind of become, we're going to have all the wiring ran before then. The customer, they wouldn't deviate on that specifics, but we were able to get here before the furniture people, because this is another aspect of the wiring you have to consider when you're doing these wiring jobs, is they wanted whisker boxes, not Cat 5 on the wall. Normally our preference would be to port it to the wall and then port it in here, but instead they wanted these, what we refer to as whisker boxes, and I'll show you closer what those look like. So this just kind of comes through here, and then we're running them into the cubicles directly before the furniture's built. So they're going to have them all in here. We coordinate with the furniture people and the GC so we can make all that happen. So that's getting all done. Everything's kind of getting done as fast. We're actually, my crew was here till 2 a.m. yesterday, and we'll be here all night tonight again, running all these cables and wires until every single wire is pulled, punched, and ready. Now, because this building was being remodeled, all this is new construction, and the new construction actually ends here. And this is some of the craziest stuff I ever seen. So this is all live. This runs another office, and they haven't moved it yet. So this company's supposed to move into this office, and this is still here. And yes, they took cut cable, and that's only dangling. I don't want to touch anything because it literally kind of moves a little bit. So this is all running server equipment that's just balanced here. So they have some rope holding that to this so it doesn't topple over. It's ridiculous. I don't know. We're trying to find out. This needs to be redone. No one knows who's doing it currently. We're not sure exactly what floor this belongs to because it all goes up into a ceiling, and no one's been really clear about that to us because we just got in here and started working, and so we're working on it because someone needs to do something about that. That's clearly not supposed to be that way. But I want to take a second to talk about wiring jobs in general. So a lot of the questions that come up with them is how do we bid them, how do we put them together? And a lot of it starts with some schematics and normally a lot of careful planning. But then I don't understand this industry as well as far as construction and the way these goes. Sometimes low voltage cabling is an afterthought. So, and I kind of feel that's how we were. We don't know any of the history that led up to this company calling us. We expect it to be like any other project until we got here and realized that we were like the last to know about this building build out. And obviously a large construction project like this is a fairly sizable office, and I'm probably 3,000 square feet here, a build out with about 150 drops going in. That's a lot of equipment they have coming in here for a lot of tech stuff they need. But we just now started after the drywall's already up and everything else. So this makes bidding a little bit different. So there's like a new construction type of bid versus a we're going to do in existing, because existing means we cut holes and place things. So we're literally here cutting holes in brand new drywall that should have been placed as part of the plan. But that's all part of the job when we do some of these bids, and it's a tricky thing in business to do, but what we try to do is come up with a really a market price for this. And the pricing in dollars isn't really what's important, because it's going to vary by whatever city, state you're in because of codes and regulations and costs. But to give you an idea, we quote them a price per drop. So once we look at the building and realize the average distance of them, we're going to average it all out, and we're going to say it's this much per drop. And the reason we do that is because it makes it a lot easier for the client when there's changes like this. I'm actually standing at what a schematic shows to be 1, 2, 3, 4 cubicles, but there's more. There's actually 6 altogether here. That was not in the plan. That's not in the bid. That's not in the design. But because we gave them a per drop rate breakdown, it made it really easy for us just to see how this was already in here. We messaged them, it's this much per drop, and so here's 4 more drops got to be added, and we're done. We give them a price. So there's no more recalculating the bid, there's no more rethinking any of it. And that's, you know, if you're into cabling at all, this is a really important aspect to think about, is come up with, okay, for all the TVs, I'm going to come up with this much to mount each TV, because we're going to do the TV mounts. Each TV needs a jack, each TV needs an HDMI. So you break down a price per unit, multiply it out, and whether or not you share those prices directly with the client or you keep them in a spreadsheet as job notes, the important part is that if something changes, you can very quickly go, you know, from the call we got of, hey, there's more cubicles over in this area and there's actually a couple more in another area, it makes us very fast to go, oh, we know how much per drop we bid this job at, so we right away get the client. And because they'd already approved our rates, from the time we sent them an email, it was 20 minutes later, they said, yeah, go ahead and add the drops in there. We've already approved. We told them what the price increase would be. They already approved it, and the drops are in. It's as simple as that. That's one of the concepts I think a lot of people do, is they try to calculate just how many hours it will take them and how long it might take them. Job experience gives us, you know, all my guys have been doing this for a while, so it gives us more of an experience to go, okay, we can estimate that in our head. We have a pretty standard rate per drop that we charge, and I don't have to say the rate, not because I'm worried about sharing my prices at all, but it's wherever you are, unless you're in my exact area, that rate may not be relevant. I know in the UK it's a lot more. In the California it can be more because there's more code issues, as I understand. And in Michigan is nice, where we are here in the Michigan, Detroit area. There's no certifications necessary, no electrical search or anything. So that actually makes the price per drop a little lower, because really anyone can do this job. Well, I say anyone can do it. There's not a lot of people that can do it right. The messes we see, like what that little mess is back there. And there's actually another wiring closet I'm not going to go into, because there's every no-no in there as far as passwords just out in the open. It's a common comm room, and the control systems, the passwords are all taped to the monitors. I'm not walking in that room. I'm just not with the camera on. I was like, it's a ridiculous mess in there too. But so it's important to do it all right and make sure you have a common markup for all this and a common bid price, and make sure you go over a scope of work of what the client expects. And that's something that was really important in this job, especially because they're out of state. So everything's kind of been you can't really read people when you're not in front of them. So with this, we have a really detailed scope of work, because they don't know what this building looks like. They only see it from photos that we actually sent them of where it was at, and it's caused some discrepancies in how they asked the GC to build it out. So you're 3 people deep in this. So having a nice clear scope of work and also having references to that, because back to the specifics of the job, they had such detail. These IT company that we're doing this for, the IT that runs this company, they are extremely specific on exactly the type of rack unit they want. They color coded it, and they want every piece, every jack color coded, labeled in a certain order. There's a lot of specifics, and of course we told them no problem, we're going to add some hours in because of the level of detail. Matter of fact, when we get the patch panels, then I'm going to do a video about them, because they're different than normal patch panels that the ones we prefer. They have patch panels that are run with push-in jacks. Now I've seen these before, we've done them, but they're kind of a stranger design, and I don't think they look as nice, but they are specific that those are exactly the type they want. It's just like our preference would be to double jack, so you bring it to the wall and then go into that furniture, but their preference was not to do that. We offered it and they said no. that isn't how it goes. So those are all important, aspects and parts to think about in there. Some of the other things to think about, there's some spots in here where there's underground flooring, and that's cool, but you have to clear out who's doing it, which it should be the general contractor, because they have to pour cement, so they work with the flooring people. The second part is you have to ask this, because if they don't, is there a pull string in the tube once they do it? You can get a pull string in a tube when they're after it's already run. It's a lot harder to do. Usually an air blower to get it through there. Thankfully, as they ran these, they put in pull strings before they cemented them all in. The other part where there was a discrepancy is we had to double check. They said there was a basement. This is a poured concrete floor. There's no basement, because they told us to drill up, run down through somewhere and come back up. And we're like, you can't drill down through the IT room and run back up. It's all ceiling. It's no basement. This is ground level. And it's funny, the out-of-state company leased it. They seemed insistent and had it in there. So these are all important things when you're doing the bid process, that you look through things really thoroughly. And I never understood, like, some people want us to give rates. I can give generalized rates, but I'll never submit to a bid that I haven't done a walkthrough, that I haven't popped a ceiling tile or two, looked inside, look at my runs where I'm going to go, confirm what exact cable they want and everything else. And then we're going to do it right. We won't take shortcuts. If the job on it like this, we do everything to spec and follow it. It's not, we don't do anything, I'm just going to use the word half-ass. That's important. So when we put all this together, that's a really important aspect when we're bidding this. But I'll follow this job a little bit more. We're going to do some maybe time-lapse videos once the rack comes in. But we're getting everything done because they wanted all the wiring on. We're doing as much as we can done. But we know we're going to be held up on that IT room, because they said the company that we ordered it from is not a company I'd heard of previously. It's not a rack I had seen previously, and I'll do a video on it. I don't know why they like it so much. I think they just have that rack in their office at their other offices out of state, so they wanted the exact same rack here. And it's just a 2-post rack. I don't see anything that special about it, but they specifically said we had to order this one, and they sent us the links to the one we wanted to order. So, all right, thanks for watching. If you like the content here, like, subscribe. That's kind of a quick overview of one of the projects we're working on, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the bidding process and how we do that, because a lot of times that comes up, and I see it come up in a lot of forums and things like that. But we'll also, if I can, we're gonna do some detailed videos if I have a chance at this one. So far, because it's a new construction, shouldn't be any issues with filming everything. But I know once it comes to any of their IT equipment, these people, because it's medical, it's not, once any of the company names go up, we have to stop filming, because that's all privacy issues that they have concerns about. So we always have to respect the privacy of our clients and things like that. So thanks again for watching.